Hello everyone, my name is Oscar. I'm an ICT facilitator. My channel helps you to increase your knowledge and skills in information and communication technology. Subscribe, like, share, and comment to get more new videos. Let's go right now. We continue with unit number 1, which is computer maintenance, and today's lesson is computer hardware issues. Objectives of this lesson are the following. After studying this lesson, you should be able to identify the common hardware issues or hardware failures and how you can fix or solve those problems. So before we continue, let us talk about what we call BIOS and its function. BIOS in full words means basic input output system. So what do you understand by the term BIOS? BIOS is a program that is stored in a non-volatile memory such as read-only memory or ROM or flash memory that is used by the CPU or microprocessor to start the computer system after it is powered on. So here we understand a computer program, which is the set of instructions executed by this device, central processing unit, executed by the CPU to tell the computer what is to do. So this program is stored on a non-volatile memory. A non-volatile memory means a memory which does not lose its data when the computer is switched off. And this program is used by the CPU to start the computer system. It means that once you switch on a computer, immediately the BIOS is executed by the CPU and the computer starts to operate. So BIOS or basic input output system includes a test. This test is known as post. Post in full words means power on self-test. This test should fail or be successful, so which is a set of routines performed by firmware or software immediately after a computer is powered on to determine if the hardware is working as expected. So, as I have told you, BIOS is a program which is stored on a permanent storage device, and this program is executed by the CPU to start the computer system after it is switched on. So this test. Once the computer is powered on or is switched on, immediately BIOS test starts. And if this test is successful, the hardware under consideration is working as it is expected. If this test fails, it means that some of the basic hardware which are needed for a computer to start is not working properly. So test or power on self-test is a set of routines performed by firmware after a computer is powered on to determine if the hardware is working as expected. It means that if BIOS test is successful, the hardware is working properly. If this test fails, it means that the hardware does not work properly, you will get an error message telling you that the current hardware is missing or is not working properly. So the check post tails or just the BIOS power on self-test fails. So the post process checks a computer hardware like RAM, which is random access memory, hard drive, which is a permanent computer storage device, CD-ROM drive, where we should put the CDs or DVDs, keyboard, and the other hardware which are needed by computer to operate. As you understand, the BIOS means basic input-output systems. And also remember that each computer must have input devices used to enter data inside the computers and the output devices which are used to display data or information to the users, and storage devices which are used to store or to keep information either for long or for a short time. So the check post test is necessary to make sure that the input devices which are needed for a computer to function are available and also are able to work without difficulties, or some storage devices like random access memory, which is a computer memory, and this one is used to store the programs which are running, are able to work without difficulties. So once post-test fails, it means that one of the necessary computer components which are used to start a computer is not working properly. In that case, the computer is switched on, but it is not able to continue to work, or the user cannot continue to use it to do different activities. So if this test fails, it means that there are some hardware problems that we are going to discuss about right now. So if all hardware passes the post, I mean the hardware, the basic hardware which are needed for a computer to perform its task, the computer continues to boot up process. In other words, the computer's operating system will be loaded into a computer memory and may generate a single beep sound. If post is unsuccessful, or if this test fails, it generates beep code to indicate the error encountered, and the computer will not boot up. Please try to understand this concept. Once you switch on a computer, immediately BIOS test, which is power on self-test, must take place to ensure that the computer component like computer memory or random access memory, keyboard, mouse, hard drive are available and are able to work correctly. So if this test is successful, the computer continues to boot up. In other words, the operating system is loaded into the memory and the computer continues to be used or to perform different tasks depending to the application programs which are opened by the computer user. So in this case, you should hear a beep sound, a single beep sound, and immediately stops. But if post or power on self-test fails or is unsuccessful, the computer will generate a series of beep codes. So you will hear sounds. sound or beep sound to indicate that some errors have been occurred, and in this case the computer does not boot up, it immediately stops. So let us discuss about some common hardware issues or problems which are mostly frequent for different computer users around the world. For example, you want to use a computer, but your computer, after switching it on, its monitor does not display anything. So we call it blank monitors. It means that we do not see anything from the monitor, and remember that a monitor is the output device. So a blank monitor is the most common computer problem. It means that many computer users meet with the following problem when they are using their computers. So try to understand how you can solve this problem, so that once upon a time you are using your computer at your office, if you meet with this problem, you should collect it, you should solve it without paying any amount of money to the computer technicians, so that they should solve this problem for you. So it is very simple to solve such kind of problem. Most people who work with computers might have dealt with such no working blank monitor at least once. In such cases, first and foremost, check supply code and power systems. So what you have to keep in mind is this one. A monitor is an output device which needs electricity to function or to operate. So there is a power cord, or just there is an AC power cable which connects a monitor to the power source. And also there is another cable which is called VGA cable or videographic adapter cable. It's a cable whose ends are colored into blue, and there is VGA port on a computer system unit and VGA port on a monitor. So once that cable is not well plugged into its ports, either on a computer system unit or a computer monitor, the information which is from the computer to be displayed on the monitor will not be visible. So to solve this problem, you can check the two cables, VGA cable and power supply cable or AC power cable. Make sure that they are well connected into their ports. The second issue is mouse problem. Remember that each computer must have a mouse, which is an input device used to point on different files, folders. So a mouse should be used to perform different actions, like to open computer programs, like to open folders, like to open files. So a mouse problems is another common issue which should forbid you to use your computer, because you will need the mouse pointer to scroll over a computer screen. So a mouse is used for a variety of purposes, such as playing games. Remember that the computer games are the games that you can play by using computers. So once you want to play the games, you are going to use a computer. If your computer mouse does not work properly, you can't play those games. You can use also a computer mouse to open the files, and also the computer mouse facilitate to navigate through different computer parts without difficulties. So now let us see how we can solve these problems if it is occurring. So common mouse problems and the solution to fix them are the following. Uneven behavior of mouse pointer. What is it? So the most common issue in mice is the malfunction of mouse cursor. The reason behind this issue are unsuitable mouse pad or sensor area filled with dirt. So mouse cursor should not move due to the presence of dirt or dust on mouse pad. Or just mouse sensors are also filled with dirt. So uneven behavior of mouse pointer. This is a mouse problem which pushes a mouse cursor to not function as it is intended, or to not function properly, or to the malfunction of the mouse cursor. This should be caused by dust or dirt which is filled on mouse pad, or just mouse sensors which are filled with dirt. So to fix this issue or to solve this issue, you have to clean the mouse pad from dust, or just you can open a mouse and clean it from dust. This issue can be easily fixed by buying a mouse pad, a new mouse pad, or a mouse pad without containing dust, or also cleaning the mouse sensor. You can clean the mouse sensors from a duster so that this problem is solved. So the second issue is slow or fast mouse cursor movement. So in this case, you are using your computer mouse, but each time you click on any area from the desktop, you see that the mouse cursor is moving quickly. So too fast or too slow, or too fast or too slow cursor movements can be controlled from the control panel of your personal computer. So you can open control panel, you click on the mouse option and navigate to the pointers option tab. So you can reduce the speed. If mouse cursor is too fast, you can reduce the speed of the mouse cursor. If the mouse cursor is too slow, you can also increase the speed. Freezing of mouse cursor. Let us discuss about this issue. Sometimes mouse cursor totally stops working. So sometimes if there are mouse problems, you try to move the mouse cursor, but it remains on the same position. That is what we call freezing of a mouse cursor. So it is not able to move from one area to another one. So this usually happens when your PC has an extra load and hangs more often. So wait for some time and refresh your PC by pressing Fn and F5 keys together. So in this case, your computer has many tasks to do. So you can refresh your computer or you can restart it. You can make empty your computer random access memory so that the mouse cursor works properly. Double click issue. So this issue, if double clicking of your mouse is too quick or slow, you can adjust it. Same as you adjust the cursor speed, you can also set up double click feature on your mouse. You can open the control panel and solve this issue. The next issue is when your computer does not recognize USB. USB means U stands for universal, S stands for serial, and B stands for bus. So remember that on a computer system there are so many types of computer ports. Ensuring that a computer port is an area on a computer system where you can plug into a cable to exchange or just to transport data from one part of computer to another one. So among those ports we have USB ports. So if a USB port does not work properly, it means that some computer devices whose connector is USB will not be connected to the computer system. So we have some input devices like mouse which use USB connector to be connected to USB computer ports. So if USB ports do not work properly, there is a problem. There is USB port problem. So let us see what should be done once your computer does not recognize USB ports or connectors. So in this case, when the USB is connected, the computer might not be able to recognize it, and hence displaying errors like device not recognized. So this issue should forbid you to connect external hard disk on your computer. This issue should forbid you to connect flash disks, which are external the storage devices. So that is the reason why each time this issue occurs on your computer, you have to solve it. Let us see how we can solve this problem. But before talking about different ways of solving this problem, let us see some causes. What should be the causes to this issue? So the currently loaded USB driver has become unstable or collapsed. In this case, remember that each external device or peripheral device or any device which is connected to a computer through the ports will have what we call a driver. A driver is a program which tells or which informs a computer that an external device like input, output, or storage device has been connected to the computer so that the computer recognizes this one. So those USB drivers should be collapsed or should become unstable, which should be the cause of your computer to not recognize either USB port or USB connector. Your PC requires update for issues that may conflict with USB external hard drive and Windows. Windows may be missing other important update, hardware or software issues. So you have to update your computer Windows operating system regularly, or you have also to update your computer software regularly, so that you should not meet with the following issues. Or just external drive may be entering selective suspend. So there are so many causes. You should read them by yourselves. They are visible on my video, and I hope you will enjoy with them. Your PC motherboard may need updated drivers and so on. So the next computer hardware problem is power cord problems. Power cord means those cables which are used to connect the computers to the power sources. So these are the cables which are used to transport electricity or just electrons from the source to the power supply, which will distribute those electric charges among the different components of computers so that they should operate. So if your computer does not accept electricity from the power source, it means that maybe the power cord or AC power cable is not working properly. So whether it is a laptop or a desktop, power cords are a vital part of computer because those cords are used to transport electricity from power source to the computer systems. So a laptop can run on batteries for a limited amount of time, but then it needs the power cord for recharging. It will depend upon to the computer that you are using. A computer laptop is different from a desktop computer because a laptop has a battery, and the role of a battery is to store electric charge so that you should continue to use your computer without connecting or plugging it on the power source. So once the power cord does not work properly while you are using a computer, you are using a laptop, you should continue to use a laptop during the specific time, but you will need also to recharge your laptop. Once you are using a desktop computer and the power cord does not work properly, immediately the computer data which are stored in random access memories will be lost because that memory is a volatile memory. So that is the reason why each time AC or alternating current power cables do not work properly, you have to make sure that they are well connected into their ports, or if they are not working properly, you should replace with them so that you should continue to use your computer without difficulties. The following hardware problems are motherboard problems. Remember that a motherboard is like the heart of a computer. So this is the main printed circuit board where internal computers, many internal components of computers are mounted, it are connected and communicate with. So this is like the heart of computer. It means that if some motherboard problems are occurring, the whole computer system will stop to operate. So we should talk about some commonly found motherboard problems like overheating. So overheating means increase of heat of motherboard. In a motherboard, overheating is a common problem that will cause your computer to run slowly. So, effect of heat on your computer should be running slowly or freezing or crashing frequently. You have to pay attention that your computer has some fans which are working correctly, so that the internal computer component which are connected on a motherboard will not overheated. So in the worst cases, overheated motherboard or other rated component will have to be replaced entirely. So if you see that some computer components, either internal components, for example, computer motherboard is overheating, you should replace it, because if you continue to use your computer having overheating motherboard, sometimes some computer component like hard disk drive will crash. If the problem persists, try using a blower to clean the computer of dust or dirt which can trap heat inside your computer. So there are so many reasons which should push computer motherboard to overheat. Even accumulation of dust inside the computer should be the cause of overheating. That is the reason why you have to take your care of your computer by using or respecting hardware maintenance principles, or just you have to clean your computer system. Even you should open the computer case and use a blower. A blower is a tool which is used to remove dust or dirty from the computer component. Or even you should use a brush. If you don't have a blower, you can use a brush to clean the computer component from dust, because this dust should be the main cause of overheating. You can also attach an external cooling system. For example, a fan. You should purchase or buy a fan which can be used to reduce heat inside a computer system. So, to your computer case, in order to blow cold or to bring cold air inside. So this also this method or this principle or this action will reduce the heat or will blow cold air inside the computer system, and hence the computer components do not overheat. So, incorrectly install the component. We are talking about motherboard problems. A motherboard should not overheat, but as I have told you, a motherboard is the main printed circuit board where many internal computer components are interconnected and communicated with. We can say, for example, expansion cards like sound cards, like video cards or TV cards, like network interface card, and the other expansion cards. When we say an expansion card is a computer hardware or just it's a card which is inserted into a computer component on a computer motherboard within a slot to expand or to increase the computer functionalities. So if some internal components which have their slot on motherboard are not well or incorrectly installed, in this case the motherboard problems will occur. The motherboard is connected to many other components such as the video card, processor, and the RAM. If improperly installed, they can cause issues. Maybe the computer boots up, but there is no picture on video. So it means that video card is not well plugged into its slot. So make sure that internal components are well connected into their slots. Insufficient memory. Remember that a computer memory is a working memory, that is where instructions to be executed by the CPU will be loaded and the CPU starts to run them. So processor intensive programs also demand a lot of memory. Random access memory aids the central processing unit by storing instructions linked to the common operations. So without enough RAM, software crashes or slowdowns. So it is a good habit to open many programs after checking the amount of RAM to make sure that the programs that you are opening will be assigned enough memory location so that the computer central processing unit executes them. So insufficient memory should be the cause of software crashes or slowdowns. Checking for hardware problems. So how can you know if your computer hardware problems are not working properly? So many computer problems are caused by hardware failures or problems with hardware drivers. So Windows will usually notify about devices that have problems. So let us see some steps which must be followed to check if some computer programs do not work properly or have some problems. So checking for hardware problems. So to check for Windows hardware problems using a device manager, you have to open a control panel. Depending on the operating system that you are using, you should you open the control panel and you click on hardware and sound link if your computer has or is running Windows 8 or Windows 10 operating system. If it runs Windows 7, instead of clicking on hardware and sound link, you click on system and security link. So after clicking on hardware and sound link, you have to check under devices and printers in Windows 8 or 10 or system in Windows 7 to find the device manager. Once the device manager is open, user can view device status, or in other words, user can be informed if some drivers need update or if some drivers are missing, so that you should install new drivers. So this shows you what happens if the control panel has been opened. So you have different options. But as my computer is using Windows 10, because you have, after opening control panel and your computer is using Windows 8 or Windows 10, you have to click on hardware and sound link. So here is a link. You click on this link. Once this link has been opened, you have to make sure that to search for devices and printers, and within devices and printers you have to select device manager. So check under devices and printers in Windows 8 or 10s to find the device managers. So hardware and sound link has been clicked on because my computer is running Windows 10 operating system, and immediately I look at another link which is called devices and printers. Through or under this link, I have to choose device manager. I click on device manager to get more information about my computer component drivers. So once device manager is open, user can view device status. You can update device drivers. You can enable or disable device drivers. For example, after clicking on device manager, I see that my computer hardware component drivers exist. So sometimes if one of computer component driver is missing, you get question mark which is colored into yellow color. So here I can see the status of my computer drivers. I can enable those which are disabled, or I can disable the drivers which must be disabled so that the computer should function. So thank you very much for watching my video. I hope that you are going to subscribe so that you should get new videos, and also you are going to share my video with your colleagues so that they should also increase their knowledge and skills in solving common hardware problems. You are also to give me your comments so that I should improve the videos because I'm here for you. Thank you very much. See you next time.